Tell us a story about the strange chick showing up to any W event with 10 to 12 birthday presents for you. Oh God. That actually wasn't any W. That was pre Opie and Anthony. I had a pretty big I had a lot of fans before the Opie and Anthony show. A lot. I was crushing it on Long Island. And man, I was pretty attractive, and this girl, she was a big girl, and she was like, I think she was one. Well, no, I had a stalker in Rochester. That story, I don't know. I had a stalker in Rochester. Oof, I had a stalker in Rochester. Like, I'll tell you the truth. She claimed that I got her pregnant, and I never had sex with her, and she wouldn't let it go. I was a kid. I'm like, how do you deal with this? Never, wasn't with her or anything. She claimed that. And then when I wouldn't take the bait, obviously, miraculously, she wasn't pregnant anymore. I'm like, what the fuck was that about? I'm not equipped for this. I'm just a kid from Long Island with a dream. How big was she? Could she comfortably fit in a kayak for two? So I was working at BAB, and back then, like, the radio station had a great idea that I celebrate my birthday with like fans of my radio show. So they set it up in somewhere out east on Long Island at I don't even remember the place anymore. Some little rock club, nothing crazy, a little bar action, probably could fit a couple hundred people. And that radio station got the bright idea, celebrate Opie's birthday with him and blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, yeah, it's just an excuse to go and have a few beers, and meet him or whatever. So I said, all right, I'll do it. And I got a fee to be there. So I made a couple $100 on my birthday. So I wasn't complaining because I wasn't making a lot of money. And I took my cousin, and this one girl, like, she would call my radio show every fucking night. Every night. She was a stalker. And she this is a story that me and my cousin Rick, we laugh at to this day. And this happened a million years ago at this point. This chick shows up, cut to the chase, and she shows up. It was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. She showed up with a giant pile of presents for me. And she was the only one that showed up with presents because everyone else knew what it was. Oh, it's Opie's birthday, whatever. Yeah, I guess we could have beer with him, whatever. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was a huge deal for her. She had wrapped presents that you could barely see her face. I wish my cousin was up. He's probably working right now. We laughed, like I said, over this story because he came with me. I was always inviting like a cousin or a brother-in-law or anybody to my gigs back in the day. So we're having a good time. She's in the corner with her birthday presents. She's a big gal. I have no interest in her. Not because she's a big gal, by the way. I just simply had no interest in her. Maybe because it was obvious she was like a stalker. Maybe that's why. And I'm not giving her any attention because I'm like, oh my God. And my cousin is just killing me. He's making fun of me. And he's like, when are you going to open up your presents? All that stuff. She's just in the corner seething that I'm not acknowledging her and her birthday gifts for me. This is a true story. She's not. Remember, the only reason I said she's a big gal is because of what I'm about to say next. She's so mad that I'm ignoring her. She starts stomping on the dance floor because we're sort of like in the dance floor area, because it gave me some room to maneuver. And no one was dancing because it was some kind of bar or rock club, whatever. She starts stomping to the point that me and my cousin are like, our bodies are moving. She's stomping so hard because she's so mad that I'm not giving her attention. And I don't know. The story's so old. It's so weird you brought that up because I haven't thought of this story in it has to be 20 years. So I don't really know how it ended, but I do know that I ended up opening the gifts maybe like right before I went home. And I remember I was a big runner back then. I was still running a lot. And she gave me, like, I wanted to hate her guts because she was a stalker and all that. I do remember this. There was a whole bunch of gifts. The only gift I remember was that she gave me, like, state of the art running shoes, like the best running shoes that were on the market at the time. And I'm like, oh, God, oh, I love these. I love these. And then I'm like, then it comes out. I'm like, how do you know I'm a runner? All of a sudden it hit me like, wait a minute. These are the hottest thing on the market for runners. How do you know I'm a runner? Now, I don't remember how I found out this info. It might have been a friend of hers or something like that. But the only reason she knew I was a runner because I didn't like go on BAB and talk about how I was running. Like I don't back then I didn't have enough time to bring a lot of my personal life to a radio show because you had to play a lot of music and stuff. So I guarantee I wasn't talking about being a runner when I was at WBAB, the home of rock and roll. Turns out the stalker who bought me these beautiful running shoes for my birthday and was stomping her feet because I wouldn't open up her presents. She knew I was a runner because she legit was stalking me and would follow me on my goddamn runs in a car. And I had no idea, literally no idea. I was living with my parents and they lived like on 25A in outside Huntington. And I had this route. I would go for the locals. There was like a pond. It was Mill Pond. And wow, that's a long fucking run. Man, I had youth on my side. And I had this loop and I would go around the pond because it was beautiful. And somehow she was stalking me to the point she knew my goddamn running route. And that's why she gave me the beautiful running shoes. She stopped stalking me because she was in a car accident.